Hello guys, this is the first episode for Let's Draw. Being a researcher, you often have to draw things, and PowerPoint is not the best way to draw at most of the times. So I'm going to explain certain graphic designing skills in this series, starting from the simplest case, which is drawing a bi-lipid layer. I got this image from courses.lumenlearning.com and I found it very good looking. It looks like it's well drawn, doesn't look like it's been drawn by an amateur, so this would be a reference image for us. What we're going to do is we're going to draw something like this bi-lipid layer that looks like this. Oh, it's out of proportion. And then we're going to draw this whole bi-lipid layer in the easiest way possible. See, like that. So to start, I'm using Adobe Illustrator. It's not a free software. It's costly. Well, you have to either buy the software itself. You have to be on a Adobe Cloud, the Creative Cloud. If you have those, or if you can get it through your university, then there are some extremely good ways how you can use this for graphic designing. So let's start new. Open the software, file, new. We're going to go for the resolution we want. This is HD, this is full HD. If nothing appears, let's just go for full HD, which is 1920 by 1080 pixels. So let's go for 300. This is a very clear looking picture right here, and I want landscape. Create. This is my picture. I'll also take this image right here so that I can see it as a reference. The first thing what I'm going to do is I'll need to draw one of these. So what this basically is a circle first. Go to rectangle tool right here, right click on it, you will see ellipse tool. You can also just press L, the hotkey L, and you'll get it. Hold down shift, and if you drag, you will make a perfect circle. If you press D on your keyboard, it'll give you a white fill and a black outline automatically. So there we have it. Now going from there, I want this to have, first, if you look at this image, there is a dark shade on one side, there is a lighter shade on the other side. It's as if it's looking like a 3D image, because it looks like you have light coming from this direction, because of which this part is lighter, and there is this shadow here. So automatically, even though this is a 2D image, just because of this lighting, this shading, it looks like it's a 3D, and you can already trace which side the light is coming from. That's what we want to do. First, we'll just select this figure, press I. You can either press I, or you can go to this eyedropper tool and select the color. Somewhere in the center. Okay, this is basically the color for most of the circle. Also get on this side. If you don't see it, you need to enable controls. In controls, you will see this control toolbar. Go to, this is your fill color, this is your outline or stroke, also called. Go for black. Once you have this, we need this shade right there. The way we're gonna do the shade thing is, let's go for the pen tool right on this layers. If you don't see layers on this side, you can click on layers. I will lock this so that I cannot move it anymore. So this thing cannot be moved now. Go to pen tool. You can press P on your keyboard, or just go for pen tool. So this is something like this. I clicked once, I clicked again, and in the second time I did not leave the clicking button. It's still there. Then I'll leave it, and then I'm going to click here and draw another, make another curve. So far this is looking very good. We can add some curvature to it. So this is this tool called curvature tool. If you add some Yeah, if you add some points for curves, you can twist this thing up to your wish. Let's go for a color. So in the image that we have here, it does not have an outline. So we're going to go to the outline, select nothing, but it has a darker color. To get to the darker color, first we'll go to Windows and make sure you have this thing enabled called Color Guide. This Color Guide will appear right here. Again, go to the eyedropper, take the color. The Color Guide will show you different shades of the color. So we're going to choose something that's darker. Not on the stroke. On the stroke we want no color. On the fill. And this navigator is very useful if you want to pan around. So I think this is too dark. Yeah, this is looking too dark. I'll go a little shade lighter. Yeah. So here is a shade. Then I also, or maybe you can even increase this if you want a bigger shade. Just align it with the outline. And then I also want a lighter shade. So again, go for the circle. And take the eyedropper tool, select the color again. This time we want a lighter color. How does this look? It's fine. I'm gonna make it slightly, I'm gonna make it slightly elliptical so that it looks like, now it's looking good. I may even bring it a color lighter. This is looking good now. This color is looking good. This is just a lighter shade of this. This is just a darker shade of this. So I think the bi-lipid layer is looking good. Next, I need to draw the tails. For drawing the tails, it's very simple. You can go to the pencil tool or just press N on your keyboard. Again, we are going to log these so that they don't interfere. You don't change anything with them. Draw a very basic tail. Do your best. It cannot be very difficult. You can just press D as in dog, to give everything a white fill and a black outline. Okay, this is looking good. How is it? Yeah, looking good. I want this to be behind this figure. So in the layers panel, I will pull it below. And now it looks like it's behind. Yep, that looks very good. I need an exact mirror of this. So the way you can do it is go to Reflect tool. Find this blue colored circle. Put it somewhere where this is the axis on which you are going to reflect it. Put it right here. And now it's reflecting. However, if you just reflect it, it's going to just reflect the whole thing. I want to make a copy of it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold my left click, reflect it, but now I will hold down Alt key. I have the Alt key held and I'm going to release the click. That makes it duplicate. At this point I can go for the coloring. So the coloring on this figure right here is yellowish. I can just take that color if I want. I can also play around with other colors. It would be good if it has a stroke, so I'll go for a dark stroke. Yep. And this looks like a single unit, a good single unit for my bi-lipid layer. All I need to do is turn it around. Right, yep, let's turn it around. To select the whole thing, again we are going to turn it around as in we are reflecting it, so go for Reflect tool. This is the axis on which it will reflect. We want to reflect it on this axis so that it turns around like that. And go for that, hold Alt and release the click. That's your single bi-lipid layer. I want to make it slightly smaller. Yep, I got this bi-lipid layer, and since when it's smaller these strokes look very pronounced, I'm going to reduce the stroke. Let's try. In the stroke panel here, 1 is too much, 1.2. Does it look? Yeah, that's good. At this point, you are mostly done. The only thing you have to do at this point, select the whole figure, go to window, make sure you have brush selected, brushes. If you don't have it, click on brushes on the right side, it will appear. When you have this selected, go to this 3 lines, new brush, make it a pattern brush. Let's name it bi-lipid layer. Everything as it is, click OK. Now it's a brush. What that means is now you can paint with this figure. So if I was to draw this line, I can make this line look like a bi-lipid layer, and Adobe Illustrator will take care of everything else. So if this is my bi-lipid layer, all I need to do is draw the line with a pencil tool or any tool and select that brush which I just made. In case of a cell, let's say you have a giant cell right here, select this and the cell gets it. With this, you can make brushes for any kind of thing. I hope this tutorial was able to help you in making bi-lipid layers consistently, and also the ones that look good, not just the ones that are barely visually appealing. If you like this video, maybe in future I will make more Illustrator tutorials about drawing different things, like a cell itself, a whole cell with organelles. Thanks for watching, guys. See you.